Judge, I guess in the next couple of weeks, all the standing committees are gonna meet, and law enforcement will be one of those, which I chair. I wanna kind of let everybody know some of the items that I'd like to address in the next couple of weeks. One of them, if we have time in the next couple of weeks, I'd like to talk about security at our county facilities, basically the county courthouse. I know some of us have been down that road before, but I think we need to look at that. I don't think it's a matter, are we going to do more security? It's a matter of when. Another item is that the sheriff has graciously offered to give us a tour, those who have not taken a tour of the county jail, and those who want to take a tour again, be more than welcome. And we may try to do that particular night or a day or two after. And anybody that's taken the tour that wants to take it again, I'm sure they'll be more than welcome. But it was the first time that I'd had a tour of the facility, and I enjoyed it tremendously. So keep those two things in mind, and we'll address that whenever the committees meet in the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one more thing that I would like to request that at each monthly regular meeting that the road foreman comes and fill us in on what's going on in the county, where we're working, what we're doing, I've been having some calls, and I think that it'd be good for all of us to know, that'd be all right with you.
That'd be great. I thought about doing the same thing.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Would it be all right? We have two good assistant foremen. Would it be all right occasionally for them to?
I think the report from the road committee, road foreman,
I mean, it'd be a good experience for them, and it.
I don't think it matters who. Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else on the phone board? Okay. Anybody else on the phone board? Ed?
You're talking about voting now on hiring the lawyer or having
No. The committee meeting's going to discuss that.
Okay.
That will be coming up. There's going to be a committee meeting, and everybody will be notified, just like a committee meeting or a committee of the whole JP. Everybody will be notified that's on Driscoll's list down at the clerk's office. Yeah. Yes, George.
It may seem minor to some people, but to me it's not. Names being pronounced correctly. Driscoll, Carol, would you state your last name?
Staten.
Staten, not Staten, Stratton, Stoughton, whatever.
Thank you.
Isn't it times?
Okay. We're going to, just as soon as this is adjourned, we're going to have a grievance hearing, and it's an open meeting, but we're going to have that. Yes, sir, you have some information.
I guess it's
that. Yes,
part
stand
of
up,
it.
please. Yeah, stand up.
Well, I came across this document, folio that I saw. It represents the mayor and documentaries supposedly for HBO. I looked up the filming company. They seem to be legitimate. It seems to be some kind of public organization program, and I just don't know anything about it. And I thought maybe someone had heard anything about this program.
That flyer's been going around for some time.
Yeah.
Where did this document come from? Off the internet?
It was posted on the bathroom at Walmart.
All right.
But I have copies of it, and it seems to be some kind of social engineering program, and I thought maybe some of the information was.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Okay, pertaining to this right here, it was brought to my attention about 2 weeks ago. My name's Rick Schoenberger. I'm Backstreet Traders in town. When I first looked at it, I seen it was a copy of a copy of a copy, and my first thing was don't take it seriously. It's just a little piece of propaganda that unless you can prove it, say something. Friday, the mayor came into my store, Backstreet Traders, down in the square, brought this film crew in, and they wanted an interview. So I went ahead and I gave an interview, and what stating in that is true, the mayor is pushing for it. You know, guys, I'm not prejudiced at all, and I stated right in the interview that each and every one of us, I mean, I've got 2 adopted black grandkids here in this town. I got black friends in this town, there ain't many in this town, but the thing, what I stated right up front is each one of us are purple and we all bleed red. I don't understand what the mayor's doing. You know, if you're gonna take something that happened, like, correct me if I'm wrong, 1905?
Yeah.
And no pun intended, try to give Harrison another black eye. Not sure where he's headed with this. I know that I have heard that he's gonna go down and speak at the Martin Luther King deal down in Little Rock. You know, I'm not from Harrison. I've been around off and on for 35 years here. The moral turpitude to this is astounding if you start really thinking about it, of why dig something up like this to rehash Harrison. The people that were involved in that, we have evolved as the United States, and we've got a black president.
Okay, thank you. You're 3 minutes or more than gone.
Okay, good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Teresa?
Yes, I wonder what Mayor Crockett is trying to do. There are no jobs here. Why does he want 1,200 more people to move here? I don't get it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes.
My name's John Meek. I'm not from here, but I'm glad to be here. It's kind of shocking to me when I read it. I represent a small minority of dyslexic left-handers. Family of good golfers.
Pretty
I
good.
look at this and I think, like your grandchildren, there's several families here who happen to be black and contribute to this community. And I think of what amazing reckless endangerment this is. Intentional, reckless endangerment. I think, what kind of exposure is this to what little resources we have in our law enforcement? And if you could speak to what kind of exposure that this would have in law enforcement. And thirdly, is this something that the mayor is doing as an official of the city of Harrison? If so, what kind of exposure does that bring? Or is he acting as an individual? And if he's acting as an individual, is he responsible for loss and injury that is caused by this, whether it's from any particular party, but the unintended consequences, what does this do to property values? I'd like to get some kind of an answer to that. What does it do to shop owners? This is kind of far-reaching when I read it, and I'm sure like to get some feedback back on this, and I'm glad that we do have the press here, and I sure hope that that we follow up on this before we just run wildly into ground and we don't know where it will lead. I came here because this seemed to be a great place to spend the rest of my life. I love it here. I love the peace, the tranquility, the great neighbors that I have, the people that I've met. Sure don't want to see anything change. We're very fortunate to have what we've got here.
Who else? Carolyn?
I'm Carolyn Bennett, originally from New York. I've lived in New Jersey and New York. I have lived in bad segregated neighborhoods, and I have lived in good segregated neighborhoods. And I do want to tell you that depends upon the people, as in the white people, depends upon them, whether they're going to be good neighbors or bad neighbors. But I want to ask you, how many of you have been to Detroit, Michigan, Amityville, Long Island, Jamaica, Long Island. No one? Well,
I have.
okay, so you know what they can do to a community if you get a group of bad ones in here. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't think I'm prejudiced, but you may disagree with me, but I think I have the same right and privilege to say what I think. I think that's still not been taken away from me, but I just wanted to say that I like you, I like this community the way it is. Thank you.
Ed?
Your Honor,
Listen,
it's just
okay,
so ironic.
One more comment, that'll be all. Ed, you're the next to last.
It's just so ironic that today happens to be the day in 1962 when George Wallace got up on the Capitol in Alabama and said, segregation yesterday, segregation today, segregation forever. We have a gal in J.C. Penney's from Jamaica. Real nice gal. She's dark colored. We have them in pizza places. We have them in Walmarts. I don't see any problem with them. I don't see even people taking and saying anything about them. Many grandparents with mulatto grandchildren. You see them every day, everywhere around here anymore. Used to be you didn't see them. I don't know of anybody here that is prejudiced against them. I even think Tom Robb's mellowed after all these years.
Okay, thank you, thank you. There's one thing we need to do here. These comments are to be something that's going to be facing this quorum court, something that is facing it or will be soon. And we're getting way off.
Judge, may I get it by 3 minutes, please? Please, I'll make it short. This is not an issue of race
Wait just a
whatsoever.
minute.
This is an issue of tranquility, and like I say, it's, these budget issues could end up facing this quorum court.
Anything could be here, but we're talking about imminent. Yeah, okay. Doctor?
Judge, I want to say the 3 things that relate to this quorum court. And David, I like you. And I really appreciate, David Thompson, what you said, boy.
Yes.
Because this quorum court, every one of you were wrong that were here the other night. Jay, I think you weren't here, so you weren't in this. But I think every one of you, David, you didn't go far enough and tell them why. Only the governmental body, which is the quorum court, Wes, back me up here, because you should. Only a governmental body, such as the quorum court, can call an executive session. No committee can do that. And so you all were blatantly wrong the other night. The sad thing about this is I heard about it. I wasn't here, and I apologize for that. But evidently, with the exception of Sam Tinsley, and Sam, I appreciate your taking a stand on that, nobody, to my knowledge, said anything about that. And I believe Sam complained. Sam, I think everybody owes you a debt of gratitude for that. And I told Sam, and I like him too, I told Sam, if you felt that way, aren't you glad, Sam? If you felt that way, you should never have gone in that meeting. Secondly, what you all went in there for was against the law, in my opinion. I think I can back that up. You've got 6 reasons you can go in, 6 reasons. 6 reasons you can go into an executive session, the quorum court. And you cannot go in there to just discuss a position. Now think about that. Wes, I think you'll back me up on this. So I bring that to your attention. I'm very sad, and I'm almost embarrassed myself, because many of you in this room I helped teach something about the FOIA. And the law, Jay, and as you know in education says, if the student fails to learn, the teacher has failed to teach. So I hope that all of you will share some time and learn a little bit more about FOIA. Number 2, for this quorum court. Start. No, it's number 2.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
I am very, I'm speaking,
I
Robert.
have a question for the speaker.
Rise to point of order.
Can I go ahead and speak first and then I'll answer this question?
Yes, you can,
Okay.
but your time's getting short.
Okay.
It's already.
I would like to see this quorum court have your next meeting, have a full expose of how disposing of county property is handled. I don't think it's being handled properly. And also, I'd like to have a full discussion on grants and aid. Last year you budgeted, I believe, you appropriated $82,000. This year you're appropriating $87,000. Folks, I don't think you can afford that. I'll answer any of his questions.
Okay, you're recognized for a question.
Well,
Robert?
I withdraw my.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
I mean, are you serious? I'm not
Yes,
messing
sir.
you.
I'm serious about answering his questions too.
Thank you.
Just for the record, I was at the Cattlemen's Association when the special.
I'm sorry. I had heard that Jay Lawrence was not here, so I
It
apologize.
was not.
Mark.
Okay, we've exhausted our time. Do I hear a motion to adjourn, and we're gonna go into another meeting? Jay moves to adjourn. Ralph, you second? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We stand adjourned, but we are going immediately into a meeting that involves everybody. This is a grievance hearing, and everybody stays here. Yes, oh, sure. 5-minute break, 5-minute break. Sam, go ahead.
And for